All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just break these apart, but you can use them as three if you want to. So on a flavored berry water, yes, very good. So one of my teaching partners that I'm not sure, Tina, if you were on earlier when I was talking about this, but I had dinner with my old teammates, and so my old teammates, and one of them, like, that's all she'll drink is water, but it's always, she has like the flavored packets in it when she wants something different than just plain water. So April is having a glass of wine. April, are you a red or a white? I will tell you, wine for me was something I had to get used to. I will say that I'm not always like used to it yet either. Like it's not hot chocolate. Oh, that's really good. Melissa's got her Diet Coke. I'm sorry guys, right now I'm just working my way out and I did opposite sides. So my goal is basically to put these every so like few inches, I guess would be the best way to say that, on the outside and the inside. Tequila. So, oh, Phoenix. Hi, Jackie. And red. April, let's see. I'm trying to think if it's red. I will tell you probably the only, this is terrible, it's the only thing I know is a cab. So I have my sister-in-law and brother-in-law. That's what they prefer. And so that's kind of what I got started on. When I do have wine, but like I said, I don't have it. Yeah, it definitely is an acquired taste. And I feel like, I forget the name of it, but one of my teaching partners, her and her husband went to wine country out in California, and they stayed at this amazing, like, small winery. And oh my, that was probably the best wine I ever had. I can't remember. Amy, I don't know if you are watching, but that's Amy. If you can tell us what wine that is, if you're watching. I'm not sure she is because it would be bedtime for her kids right about now. All right. So again, these are another thing I like to use. I like to use my hand. So Jackie, Phoenix, Arizona. I have been to Phoenix, I think only once. I feel like only once. And I was really, really little. And for some reason, and I'm pretty sure it was the Phoenix area. I don't think it was Tucson. We went to a Wild Wild West show, and that's what I remember from vacation. So this one, I am just kind of like bending it a little bit and just kind of moving those branches. But I like this one because it's really how like would be growing how it is naturally. So I like that. Is there any questions? Like if you guys wonder like how things are done. And oh, this one, I'm not using my steel pick machine. You can, but I don't need it for these. These are working just fine, gluing and going into the grapevine. Oh, I know I was going to ask you guys. So earlier, right before the sun went down, because you know the time change. So hello, Juanita, Kent, Washington, near Seattle. Juanita, I think you were on another live, I believe. So thanks for coming back. Oh, Jackie, I will tell you, it's one of those, it's an acquired taste, and there's so little of it in there. It's more like, for me, it's more like drinking juice because I don't do it strong. I can't do it straight. I've got a family member that will just do it on the rocks. I can't do that. No. So, all right. And then, I was talking about grapevines. And again, I'm just kind of about my hand width to put these in. So I was cleaning the grapevines and I was like, so first of all, I had this grapevine and I thought I was all ready to go. And then you guys, the grapevines are getting terrible in the store. I don't know if you realize that, or maybe it's not around by you and it's just up here in the northern Illinois area. This is missing like the grapevine that holds it together, that's supposed to like wrap all the way around. It stops. Look at it, completely stops. So right before it went dark, I went outside and was cutting more. And I'm like, that one, I did the bind wire all the way around it, but it wasn't going to look good with a wreath where we're just kind of doing half of it or 3/4 of it. So again, just pulling those out. So it's a Western place in Tucson. I don't think I've been to Scottsdale. I don't know, maybe it was, but this was a long time ago. It might not even be there anymore, but it was sure fun. They had the like where they came out of the saloon and they had the, you know, the fights, that's all I will say, you know, between the guys. And I remember that, and it was fun. It was fun to see like an Old West town in action with all the reenactment. And let's see. Okay. All right. And what I'm trying to do with this is we're not going to go all the way around. It's going to be about 3/4. That's what I like to call it. And also, I don't know if you guys can see the thickness of this grapevine. It's really thick over here versus thin. And if it, in the end, I think it's going to be okay once I have everything. But if not, I can just add some bind wire when we're all done. So I know so many have closed. I will, one of the favorite places up here that I used to get a lot of greenery from her, it was mostly a lot of greenery. She has closed, but it was like one of those home decor stores. And I'm like, oh, I would go in and I'd be like buying all of her stuff. And she finally asked me one day, she's like, what do you do? I was like, I make wreaths. So she's like, oh, that makes sense now. Oh, all right. I do want some pine draping down as well. So I love about faux, we can just bend it however we want. So I want some coming down, and then I'm going to want some coming up over here as well. All right, so I have, so just to kind of give you an idea, there was 5 stems that each had 3, so 15. I'm on to my second to last stem. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, it's off camera. I have a glue pot. So I'm dipping it into my glue pot over here. It's the Sherbonder glue pot. All right, so I'm gonna have that out. I'm gonna put one actually to come out over here too. So Oklahoma, they haven't had any grapevines. Oh boy. You know, come to think of it, the last time I went to Hobby Lobby, it was sparse. Come to think about it, Michael's is terrible. The Michael's by us now are like terrible. We have one, and it's just like one rack for the 18-inch. Like that's it, and mostly it's gone. So yes, Tina. So that one actually is. I did use bind wire to wrap it, and I decided I didn't want to use it with it being. With some of it showing. It's one I'll use where my greenery is going to go all the way around. So yes. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad that you joined us, Jackie. Yes, Melissa is great. I was going to wonder how many of you guys have ordered from Melissa. I never worry about my products when they come from Melissa because I know they're going to be quality and they're going to look good. And Melissa, for the most part, and Melissa, correct me if I'm wrong, but for the most part, Melissa actually sees most of her product at the market. So she actually sees it in person. And then too, like another thing that you can do, bend these so they're not like just sticking straight up. Bend them so they kind of get like a curvature to them. And that's something that you can do at the end. You can do as you go along, whatever you want to, but it just helps give them a little bit of shape. So yeah, okay, so you've ordered a few times. Yes, I will say I don't ever worry with Melissa. There are some times I worry. So, hi Lena, how are you? I'm hoping I'm saying your name right, Lena. People, a lot of times they're like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. You mispronounced my name. I'm like, no, especially students. I'm like, no, it's not okay. I want to say your name correctly. So, oh, you just got an order, Dora. What did you buy, Dora? I am curious. All right, and then just to kind of finish it off, I'm going to go one right here in the center. And then we're going to stop. And this is going to be our base. And what I like, or I kind of like how to explain it, I will do in-person workshops. That one just has to get tucked in a little bit more. I will do in-person workshops, and I kind of describe wreath making like making a cake. Okay, you got dough balls. Yes. But it's few and far between. Yes, so Melissa said yes, she does. She wants to feel them and touch them and see how they're gonna hold up. So Dora, dough balls, yes. That was one of the things that we looked at, and the swag, you could actually, when we do that tomorrow night, you could lay that in one of the dough bowls and put some like candles in there. That would work really well for it. And you could, even with the items for the vase filler or this pitcher filler, you could actually use those items as well for a dough bowl. That would be absolutely beautiful. All right, so now we're gonna layer in the snow cap, but I started telling you guys, it's kind of like making a cake. And so like right here between the bow and your base greenery, you've just baked the cake. It's just there. So hello, Aunt Judy, how are you? And then thanks for catching me. And then Lena, yes, okay, yes, you made it. Thanks, Lena. All right, so tip on the greenery is always keep that longer stem. Don't snip that one like up close, because you never know. And I will use this at the end or one of the last pieces, because sometimes you need an extra long stem. So even though these other ones are short compared to that one, we're gonna do that. So now I will say kind of we're putting the frosting on, so to say. And I did, like I said, I just kept that one long. All right, so since we have people like watching like from all over, and I know like a lot of my wreath making friends are in the South or like the East Coast, like the Southeast Coast. But for those of you like in Arizona and Seattle, like what is your weather right now? Because like we're like freezing in the morning and then we warm up in the afternoon. Like how much does that change? And then you guys, it was what, 5 o'clock and it's dark out? Like that. So with these, you could cut these in two if you wanted to. But for this one, we're going to go ahead and keep it long. And I'm going to put this one, with the longer one, it's going to go in between my rows here. And again, I have the Sure Bonder glue pot. And so that's why I will pull that up, because I know some of you know this. You have watched, I think it was the Merrymakers, the live in the Merrymakers Summit. I talked about this, but if you were a part of that, that was with Ashley Greenwood with 3 Little Greenwoods. So I keep the binder clip. Can you guys see the binder clip? There, where can we go? I can't bring it too close because of the cord, but there is a binder clip there. And the pot's really hot. It's raining. Oh, Juanita, I'm sorry. Like, I know we need rain for flowers and crops and to grow, but yeah, I really wish it could rain with the sun. You know, sometimes in Florida, like the cloud will just rain and it's still sunny out. So basically what I do with this binder clip is I will stick this in the glue. I'm not going to do this, but I stick this in the glue and then I go and I wrap it around the top of that binder clip. And then hopefully the strings for the most part are there. But that is how I use the binder clip. And the Sure Bonder pot is hot. I used to just use a regular kitchen skillet. So hello, Belinda. And all right, so let me see. I want a longer one. And then I'm going to start cutting them into twos. All right. So this one again, I'm going to have this one come up here in between, kind of like in the row. Again, I'm just bending those stems to kind of make the greenery go and just a little bit more natural shape. All right, this one might be a little too long. We'll see. I think it's actually going to be okay. So long as it's secure here. And it is, okay, so it's going to drape and that's what I want anyway, so we are good with that. And I feel like I'm flicking the hair back on the ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and do another long one before I cut. And again, it's just going in between the green Norfolk pine, the non-snow covered ones. So with the Norfolk pine, we just made kind of like a row on the outside or inside and then a row on the outside, and they're about a hand's width apart. All right, and then right here, I think I'm gonna cut, well, maybe not. I thought I was gonna cut this to make it shorter, but I'm not. I'm gonna let it go because we have another one. And my little guy is playing in his room, so I don't know if you can hear him or not, but if you do hear background noise, that's just him in his room, and he's just banging on something. All right, so I still have the one long left. So yes, perfect weather. Oh, I bet being, 80s, that would be really nice, Jackie. Is the dry heat though really nice? Like when it's 110? All right. So this is that long stem. I'm going to hold on to that one, and I'm going to go to my second bush, and I'm going to pull one with one of the shorter stems. So yes, so Lena, I learned that binder trick from Ashley with Three Little Greenwoods. I saw her using that one time and I was like, oh, that's perfect. It did fit. So I could use a normal size, like, you know, like a small or a medium binder clip on like my electric skillet, like when I was like, was a kitchen skillet, and I would use that for glue. The Sure Bonder pots have a thicker rim. Let me see, it's about it's at least a half an inch, if not 3/4 inches. And so I ordered like the extra large binder clips off of Amazon, and it works just fine on the Sure Bonder pots. So our little one is in 2nd grade, Melissa. 2nd grade. It's my favorite grade ever. And I do get to aid in his room, so that is really fun just to kind of see him differently as a student. I have actually subbed in his room before, and that's been fun. That's been fun. So I don't treat him any differently than I treat any of the other kids. We follow the rules the teacher has, and everybody is supposed to follow her rules, so that's what we do. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these. And again, I'm keeping that one stem longer. So our oldest is in college, and she plays basketball, and she started basketball. It's preseason, it's just scrimmages, but we actually got to go see her and watch her play a game, and that was like so much fun. And then the high schooler also plays basketball, and they just started tryouts today for basketball. So it's basketball season around here, and it's just super fun. All right, so I am going, I think I'm gonna, I don't know if I want a full stem or just a half a stem. I don't want a full stem. All right, so on this one, I'm gonna cut it. And just when you do cut this, go just about halfway. So, and then I just cut it. You're never gonna see that part in the wreath, like where you cut it. It will completely be hidden. And then, all right. So yes, we start our running a lot with basketball coming up. Like but I don't trade it. It's only for anything because it's only, let me see, November, December, January, and then a little bit of February. So yeah, Jackie, yes, we do. Yes, there's a spread there. Basically, here's a long story short. I always wanted 3 kids, and make a long story short, my mom ended up passing away, and my little guy was born a year to the date. She ended up passing away to give us 3. So that's just kind of the short and condensed version of it. She always knew I wanted 3, and there's a lot of times that I look at him and I'm like, Mom, stop. Like, I know it's like, I was just like, there's a lot of her in him. So I don't say that to him. He's old enough, you know, now, but he knows, he's seen pictures of his grandma, he knows. So that's why we have the spread. He was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful surprise. All right, friends, so we have 3 stems of the Norfolk pine left. And so this one I'm just splitting. Well, I'm hoping I'm splitting. I'm gonna have to cut this. These are put together really, really well. So if you wanted to actually just use like a whole stem, you do not have to worry about these breaking and falling apart. So, all right. But yes, yeah, it's sweet. I call him my little spirit baby. He's not really a baby anymore, but he keeps us young. He really keeps us young. But it's just funny because some of his friends, I'm like, his friends' mom, I'm like, I'm old enough to be your mom. Like if I was a teenage mom, I'd be like, I would have been old enough to be your mom. And they're like, it's okay because you don't act old, Julie. I'm like, okay, thank you. So we're going to go ahead. I don't think I'm going to go there. We're going to go on the outside over here. And I think we're going to go up. And the reason being that we're going to go up is once my ribbon tails are over here, down here, it's just too close. But if I go up over here, it's on the inside, and then it's kind of making these two go together. So if you ever wonder like how I decide things, that's how I do. Another thing that I always want to make sure that I'm keeping in mind too is my width, because I don't want one just like right now it's a random piece sticking up and I know that, but we're not done. But when you are designing, you want to make sure that you just don't have like one piece going up. So, and that is just pull that off. If yours have it, just pull it off. It's just part of the mold. So some of them have it. It just didn't get pulled off when they were making them. All right, let's flip the hair back on the ribbon. And then we'll go there. Yep, there's another one. It's not a big deal. They just pull off really easy. All right, now I'm going to come stand by you guys. And I am going to look. So I can see, I do need to do something up here, but it could be something as simple as making this, bending that up. And then we'll fill this in. And then we have to remember, we've got some more things coming. We have the cedar. And I think a cedar in between there would be great. And I've got, so when I was doing this, I was thinking I could get, I think five pieces out of here. So this, watch what I'm doing here. Like if you're going to order the kit, just so you know. Okay, so there's like two main stems when it comes. We're going to take the first one. I am cutting it at an angle. You guys, these are made really well because there are the metal, like, I don't know, the metal rings on all of these. So they're made to last. So I'm cutting there, cutting here. Another thing too is I always will cut on an angle. I'll always cut on an angle, and that just helps it go into the grapevine a little bit better. So hello, Lisa, thanks for catching us. And then again, I'm just cutting on an angle. Oh boy. And that, okay. That's why I have the heavy duty ones. These are from Lowe's, the Irwin, but you can get these at Menards. You can get them at Home Depot, but they're the heavy duty wire cutters because that on that piece right there, the regular wire cutters would not work. So, and I believe I have the stem cutter, and I have this too, the heavy duty stem cutter. So, and I do believe Melissa carries these in the shop. So that's great. And then don't forget, Julie 15, you guys can use that. It's not, that code is good on any order. So anything. So like if you already have some snowflock, Norfolk pine, and you're like, I don't need the whole kit, I just need the other items. If they're in stock, they have to be in stock. Some of the stuff has sold out. But if they're in stock, you can order that, still use Julie 15, and you can save some money. Hello, Annette. Thanks for catching us. Appreciate you watching. So Jackie, yes, thank you. Like with Melissa, and this is definitely like the Real Touch cedar. The greenery is gorgeous. And I will say like this greenery, the snowflocked one, because it has kind of the yellow, I call it the yellow green, and then more of like the darker is probably a blue green. And it just gives it nice like depth, I guess you could say. With there. Okay, Melissa says they do have this heavy duty stem cutter in stock, and definitely use Julie 15 for a discount on it because they're not, you know, they're not the cheapest items, but I will tell you, I love it. Especially for those of you, if you guys have any like arthritis in your wrist, anything like that, it works. I ended up getting that because I didn't know about these, and my husband like had these in his work van, and I didn't know about these. And so I was using the regular wire cutters, and it was not cutting those thicker stems, and I was like killing my wrist. It was hurting so bad, and it's pretty weak anyway. And so I ordered that, and then he got me these for Christmas. I'm like, oh my gosh, didn't know. So, but I do use both. I do use both. It was not a waste of money. It was a good investment. All right. And then I have just one in the last one, which I'm going to leave it long right now, just because again, I never know if I'm going to need a longer piece to maybe come out this way or start from here and kind of go down. I was going to tell you my other favorite tool that my husband got me are these wire cutters. So they are wire cutters in the middle, but they're like flat. So they're almost like pliers, but I will use this to make my hook on the back. And if you take your floral wires, here, I'm trying to find, okay. So if you have like floral wires and you twist them and they're pokey, right? And they're pokey and they hurt. And if this is going to, you're going to sell this or whatever, you don't want your client like poking themselves on it. So then I take this and I just keep crimping it and crimp and crimp and crimp until it's flat and it's not going to hurt anybody. So that's what I use those for. And again, these were Lowe's, but anywhere, any of your home department stores will have them. So department stores, you guys know what I meant. Home improvement stores. Oh my goodness, long day. I was a little nervous about starting this at 7:30, but I was like, I'm going to get everybody, you know, home if they've got kids. Hopefully can get a chance, you know, to go to work. We have to do parent-teacher conference tomorrow night, and I was like, I need a little bit of time from the time we get home to get ready to go. And that's why it's 7:30. I knew I could be consistent for all 3 days at that time. My other normal time, oh, I don't want to use that one because that's the long stem. I'm going back to the shorter stems. And I am deciding, this is one I cut in half, and then this is a longer piece. I do not want, okay, so here's a perfect example of what you don't want to do. If you have this, and I just take this whole stem, and I stick it in there. Do you see, I mean, it's not even showing up on your side of the screen. It's sticking way outside what I call my imaginary line, my imaginary curve. So it would be about 4 inches too long. So I have two choices. I can see if half a stem is going to work, which it will, or I could just cut this to a length that I think it would work. But I think, again, yes, so that is going to work so long as I keep it more to the outside. So yes, yes, perfect timing. So yeah, so 7:30, that's how I ended up on 7:30. I just spread that out a little bit more. It's still keeping within my design. Another tip that I will do is if you have, of course now I can't find them. Okay, so you know, it's the paper stems. So if you know that you want to keep your design within a certain width, so you can like take this, and I go always from the inside of my grapevine to the outside, and I always make sure that it's like on the inside. And say I didn't want it any longer than this. I would just cut this, and then here's my handy dandy ruler, not really ruler, but then I just kind of keep this here, and I know I don't want anything past this end point. And you always touch the inside of your grapevine to the outside. You don't want to measure from your greenery because that's not going to be the same. And then if you do that, if you go from the inside of your grapevine to the outside, that will also account for the difference in thickness of the grapevine as well. So just another little tip and trick, because I look at wreaths and I'm like, but one side's narrower than the other, like the other side, like on the full wreaths. And so I like to like help people just, hey, here's a little tip. So with a little trick for that. All right, so I'm gonna add some more right here, but it's not, I don't think it's gonna be the full. Let me see how many we have left. 1, 2, 3. So we have 3, and I have to remember that we have these because I don't want to forget those, but those I want it to be the focal point. Well, not really the focal point because it's greenery, but I want you to be able to see them all. All right, so this I'm gonna come and put behind this one. And again, I'm just gonna spread this out. I am gonna bend the stems a little bit just to give it some more shape. All right, that's kind of coming down here. Again, I can see here and here we need some. All right. So this longer one, I'm just gonna keep it down there just a little bit. All right. And then just kind of like for the pieces that I have left before I get to the cedar, I've got 2 of these left and one of those. Hello, Roxanne. Hello, Rosie. And all right, so I'm gonna kind of step back. Sorry, and you're seeing the back of my head there. Oh, I am gonna put a green one right, I don't know if I am actually, because I can put those there. All right. I think I'm gonna go white here. I think I'm gonna go white. And it's, this is a longer one, but so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it down. But it is good that I kept it long because I don't need it. I do need it a little bit longer, is what I meant to say. I need it. All right. Theirs are coming this way. All right, so this piece is down just a little too much. So I'm gonna tuck it back in there. It's kind of driving me a little bit batty. All right, there we go. All right, this I'm going to cut. So this one I'm going to cut into 2. And again, just halfway. I think I'm going to put this, because I don't want a real, can you see the difference in these? So this one is thinner. There's not as much material, or stems, I should say, compared to that. So I'm going to put this one up here. And again, I'm just working within kind of that imaginary line. There we go. That filled it in right there. All right. And then, all right, so this one I'm going to hold on to. All right, so this is actually pretty full right here. I might end up pulling one of those off. We'll see. All right, so I'm gonna hold on to these. Oops, I had 2 of the Norfolk pines left that was hidden with that cedar. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and add the cedar. For right now, I'm saving these pieces. So you can see I had 2 Norfolks, and I have the long Norfolk, the big ones, and then the minis. So I have 2 of those left because I need to come fill in around my bow as well. But I'm holding on to those. I'm not going to use those. I'm going to do my cedar. And then don't forget, we have these amazing select artificial berries to put in here as well. And they have greenery on them too. So this one, so I have 5. So, right, unless I cut them in half again, which I can do. I'm sorry, I have 6. There's 6 of these, not 5. So kind of what I will do then is go, I'm going to put one here. I might put one here. So that'll be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just kind of want them spread out a little bit. Actually with this one, so this one's doing a really nice Y. Do you see that? This is why I say always use a greenery. Look at what you have. This one's also doing a really nice Y, except this one has a really long stem, so I want to save it in case I need to make a stem go longer. But we're going to work with this one and always work with that greenery, because remember I said I want one here and one here. I'm going to try to save a piece, and if I put this in here, I'm going to have it go this way and this way just through that loop, and that will work. And then when I pulled this off, when I pulled this one off, the floral tape is coming undone. So I'm just going to go ahead and use it. This happens to be brown. It doesn't matter what color. It doesn't matter. It'll be just fine because it's going to be hidden in the grapevine. All right. Go. But of course, there's a lot of stems right there. So as much as I say it's going to work, maybe it won't work. All right. It's going to work. All right. And again, these are nice and bendable, so bend those so they look natural. All right. So there we go. And I know it's looking funny over there. It's okay. Because again, remember what I didn't do with my bow is spread it out, which you can do. But I was trying to keep it more of a cascading bow, but we'll see how it works. Again, it's always with what kind of the greenery is going to do. Because even though it's faux greenery and we can bend it, it still kind of has a mind of its own sometime. All right, so this I'm going to come and I'm putting right, let's go into the grapevine. All right, I'm just going to kind of put that one there. Cool, there we go. I want you to be able to see this one, and I'm just bending it into shape, and now it's coming forward in front of the snow flocked Norfolk pine. All right, so this one's longer. I feel like I can cut that one down even. So you can kind of see, you can see the grapevine right here. So it needs something. It can be a small stem right here. Because remember, if I can get away with using a small stem, I will, because I want to save those longer stems until the end. All right, here we go. So that's looking good. I need to put some up here. I'm going to trim this one down because it doesn't need to be a long stem. Do you guys have any questions for me? Are you kind of amazed at, I'm actually going to use the stem cutter on this one, the heavy duty stem cutter, instead of, so easy, instead of fighting with this, I just walked over there, stuck it in there, forced it down, and it was good. Are you guys, anyway, sorry to ask you guys, are you kind of amazed at how little like product we've used in this wreath and how full it is getting? All right, so there we have it. And I can see what you can see, and that is that gap right there. So we're gonna go ahead and at least put a cedar. I've got cedar here. I've got some there. I don't know if I want that or this. So this one I can cut down. So here we go again. I'm going to cut this one down again. And there's just 2 spots right here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut. And I'm going to use this longer stem. I also think I'm going to probably end up using one of my Norfolk pine stems back there. Pull this out. Probably bend. There we go. There we go. And then, like I said, I have another one of these left, and I think I'm going to just tuck it in right there. much anywhere your eye goes that it's like drawn to, other than right here, is probably where you need to put some product or fix something. Now look at that. I said I want to stick this one back in a little bit more, and it's a little too much for me. So I want my white to be sticking out on the end past this. So like I said, there's no mistakes in wreath making, because you can just pull this out and reposition it. It's gonna have to go. Of course, there's a gap right where I want to put this. There's a gap in the grapevine. Again, you got to work with what you have. Another trick too is if it's not working, come on, go in. And this is still sticking out a little too much for me. So I just go to the base, give it a good bend. And then there we go. All right. So what I like about this is it's very dimensional. It's coming off. It's going to look beautiful in the wind. As it goes through, it's just going to give it that natural, like forest look. When the wind blows, the stems are going to have some good movement. And that's what I'm liking. All right. So I know I need to put one here because I've got cedar here, 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 here. So I need to even it out, and I still do have one cedar bush left. And again, I kept this one longer. Again, see, like, now that one wasn't too bad, but I almost went and used the easy stem cutter on that. I'm going to cut this again, but for right now, I'm just trying to see where I need this to go. I also need this to kind of be hidden back here. And then I also be careful because there's a lot of stems right there. All right, so I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut down to here. So even if you want to do a different style wreath with these products, you totally can. I'm going to use my heavy duty stem cutter on this though. Oh, this would also be really pretty with like a Santa sign right here. You could do that and just pull, if you did like, you know, the round Santa sign. And I think Melissa has one of those in stock too. At least she did when I was looking. So it'd be like a round Santa sign, and then you would just kind of move some of your greenery back because the sign, this is only about as big as my hand as a gap, and the signs are bigger than my hand. So can you tell I do a lot of measuring with my hand? Anybody else, a lot of measuring with your hands? Uh-oh. All right. So this I just want to get tucked up under. Oh, yay. And I found a spot where there was not a lot of stems, and it slid up into the grapevine very nicely. All right. All right. So now as I'm designing this though, I think I'm going to pull this one through. And I am going to do one on each side. Might pull both of them through. See, that's the nice thing. You can always change your mind too. So from what I intended it to be, it's now going to go over here. If this will. This one's on the back, so I don't want to pull that one through because that was like the very first tail, so I need to come through from the back side. All right. And here's what I'm going to end up doing with these. Is kind of like putting them there. All right. I might pin them or not. So I know I still need something right there. And I have these. Guys, don't forget, we have 2 of these to go. So 2 of these, but I have saved these. And I have 1 of these, and I'm going to go ahead and put that down here. I'm going to cut this off really close, edge to the greenery. And it's going to go straight in. And again, I am bending it to what the shape that I need. So there we go. With this, I'm going to cut these down even more because I don't want just one like blob of like white in there. I kind of want to spread the whiteness out around the bow. All right, so there. And I will be able to get 4 different little mini stems in there. It is, oh, yay. I am glad that I am empowering you because you can do it, Julie, you can do it. So Julie has actually been to one of my in-person classes, and she will tell you that she's not super crafty, but if you saw the wreath that she made, you would disagree with her. So you would be like, you have it in you. So you do have it in you. All right. And then I'm gonna kind of, I don't know. So here's what I'm battling. Here's what I'm battling right now as I design this. And you guys, okay, you guys are seeing this bow differently than I am right now because I'm just gonna do this. No, I don't like that. I like the cascading bow. I know. So how the camera is, you guys are seeing it differently than straight on. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, that is a little bit better on what you're seeing. And then I don't feel. So here is what I am design-wise in my head battling. Is I believe in threes. I believe in odd numbers. So I have, well, and those two have actually done just a nice job right there of going, and I can see one is going to go up here. Those two just naturally after this kind of blended together. My little guy is now making his way back upstairs after doing his homework, and he might get a little loud. So, but yes, Julie, thank you so much for your support. You have been amazing, and I appreciate it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna leave that right there. And I do have left over one of these and another, just one little stem of this if I need to fill in somewhere. And right now I'm looking in the camera and I maybe right here might put that Norfolk pine. But I feel like that is probably like the only spot. So I'm just gonna, I don't know. We're gonna hold off on that because we're gonna do these. We're gonna do these. All right, so you guys, these are gorgeous. These are the finishing touch on this wreath. These are your sprinkles right here on the cake, the sprinkles on the cake. We are there to that point. And let's see, 1, 2. I am just cutting these up. So, 3. All right, and this one, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut there. I know I don't have to keep these like super, super long. Ooh. So I just cut them off. All right, so these two, these are the shorter stems. I am gonna have these coming around the bow. All right, so we're gonna do that. Sorry, I am getting the glue off of the top of that binder clip. And I didn't need to. All right. All right. All right, so there we go. I'm gonna have that one kind of hanging out. I also love how the leaves then are coming forward in front of that ribbon. It's just adding a little bit more dimension to it. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, found a break in that grapevine. Because as we know, we have a lot of stems going into that. So they are beautiful. These are Select Artificial. And as if you're a wreath maker, you know that Select Artificial is a little bit more pricey. But you guys, it's such good quality. and it's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know, let me see. I guess here, that would probably be the best. Can you see like all the dimension within that leaf? It looks so real. And again, with just a hint of snow. And it's the beautiful snow. It reminds me of the snow globe snow, you know, where it's not like super heavily flat. Like this to me is like sleigh ride snow, like where it's all packed down, or snowmobiling snow. And this, how it's on the branches, is just the snow globe like effect. So, all right. And then on my other branch, which I could cut now, because remember we have two of these. We have two of these. And so I'm going to use a smaller one of the red berry. A smaller stem. Oh, here we go. So here we go. This one. It's just a smaller one. And I'm going to put that up over here. Okay. I can do 4. If you want to do 4, you can. But I like to keep it in odds. And I have this white right here, so it has like a nice triangle going around the bow, and I really, really like that. And this, my friends, so it doesn't look like this. Like when you guys see it, it's like, whoo, it's really white there. When it's here in person, it's not that white, but that's coming out anyway. So I'm just gonna take that out. Yeah, that looks better for you guys. That looks better. And then I can just save this. This actually could go right here. I could probably use a little bit of white right there. So I will do that. This one I'm going to throw a steel pick on. You can also use a floral pick. It doesn't matter. Either one is just fine. So hi Aunt Jeannie, how are you? So we're going to put that in here. So how many of you would think that you would have to go buy, in order to get something this fall, how many think it would be like, whoa, I have to buy like 3 bushes of that Norfolk pine, like of the basic pine, or I've got to buy 3 stems of that cedar. But you guys, you really don't have to. So, I mean, you could if you wanted to, but you don't have to at all. It's really filling out nicely in here and what we have, and especially once we add these red berries, because remember, we're not even done with these. And so what, you just shape these however you want to shape them. All right, well, probably did not have to do that too much. So we're gonna put this in here. I'm actually gonna trim this down just a little bit because it's gonna get nestled down in there. Pretty close. Actually pretty close to the top of the bow is where that's going to get nestled down into. All right. So there, what I like about that, again, it's just peeking through, just peeking. We're going to put some here. And other than those little ones, so other than like this little one, this will be a little one right here too. Everything else has 2 berries. So everything else has 2 berries. And if you don't need it to be 2 berries, you can go ahead and cut it and it will just be 1. But I will say, if you do cut it, these berries are also resting on this longer stem. Oh, so I am going to try to keep it as long as I can, but I should say, keep them both together. And I meant to keep this as long as I can. So I will do that. And I'm just going to tuck this in here. And then I'll have a little bit of berries sticking out and a little bit of berries hidden. So really like a real tree there. So like where they're hidden and then they're not hidden. And you can see how it's just really, really making that wreath pop. Look at the difference between this top up here, and I know you guys, there is red berries right here, which is a little bit hard for you to see, and right here in the camera. You guys are pretty much seeing, whoops, this one and this one. But they are there, and in person, you can see them. So it's just coming through. So we're going to do that same effect down here. And remember, I felt like this was also getting a little heavy with the snow-covered Norfolk pine. So all I'm going to do is just trim off one of the baby ones. I can save it. And it's going to go right in there. Come on. Hopefully. There we go. There we go. Somebody's just going to work with it just a little bit. All right. To get it to stay in there. All right. And then we're going to do another two over here. And so I kind of have the gap right here. And so that's why I'm looking for my berries to kind of fill in that greenery to fill in this gap right here. And, all right. I don't have to cut that one down because my grapevine, there's not a lot of stems and there's plenty of room in that grapevine for this. And again, to bend. And if you're just somebody that is watching me because you love just watching people make wreaths, like it's your relaxing moment, it's a little bit me time. And if you order a wreath, you do want to make sure that you do fluff it because in shipping, it can move around. But you could just move those stems. And if you're ordering from me, basically what I'm doing is if it's a wreath that I've already made, I am bringing it up, I'm setting on the stand, and I am physically yanking on every one of these stems. So if it comes out, I re-glue it. And then I let it sit there for a little bit. And when I say a little bit, I mean like 24 hours. And then I will come back and I will pull on it again. So just kind of keep pulling. So if you get it and it's flattened, or if you're storing it, and so like you bought it last season and then this season, you are like, oh, I gotta cut it a little flat. Just go ahead and bend those flowers. They are wire in there or the greenery. It will reshape for you. It definitely will reshape for you. All right. So that I just want to bring up to hide a little bit of, I could see some darkness. I don't know if you guys could see it, but I could see it. And the same with this right here. So I'm just going to bend these stems up. All right. So now what I have left over is a baby and all of these. You can stop here. If you wanted to stop, you could totally stop here. There is plenty of red. There's plenty of berries for you to do that. But because I have stems left over and I like extra, so if I have extra, I'm going to use the extra. Although, I mean, you can save it. It's really pretty. And so, like I said, if you want to do a different style of wreath, you totally can. You do not have to do the waterfall bow. You can do your traditional bow right in there. That would be gorgeous as well, where you spread the loops out. So I like this. It's just something different than the traditional bow that we typically normally do in there. You could make this whole wreath and then make like one big, when I say traditional bow, I'm talking about like the ones that you would pull apart. You can also, oh, here we go. Let's hold this up. Here we go. This is a custom order that I'm working on, but you could take with this ribbon right here, you could do a bow like this and add some more loops so you can build some height with the bows, but that would be pretty right there as well. You can do so many different styles with this greenery and with this ribbon. So go ahead. There's only a select few kits available. So even if you're on the fence, I would definitely order sooner than later. All of this stuff is like real touch. Like this is really nice. And of course the select artificials. And again, we can stop here and you get two of these branches and you still have 4 more berry sets to work with. So you would have enough to do something else with those red berries if you wanted to. But like I said, I'm not a less is more girl. I am a more is more girl. So we're going to go for more and more. And go ahead, and I'm going to put that one down there. Just going to put it in the greenery. There we go. All right, so right here too, with these loops, I do want to keep a little of those loops through. And now, oh, so here's what I do. And I just take some, this is the 20 gauge floral wire. I'm actually, because I'm going to do 2 loops, and I'm hoping this will be long enough. It should be long enough to get it through. But if not, if you don't want to cut this in half to make sure that you have, so I will just, you can just use one. I feel like, I hope. The only thing that I worry about is there's a lot of stems right there, so it might not push through. So I'm sorry if you're hearing the shower. My little guy is hopping in the shower right now. So, oh, very good. I just heard him say to shut the door, so my husband told him to shut the door because you can hear the, could you guys hear that, or is it just me? I am just curious. So I am just pushing these 2 floral wire stems through the grapevine to the back. And that's it. Does anybody attach these differently? I know you could probably, if you had stiffer greenery, like this one, this greenery is more like the cascading. If it was stiffer, you could probably use some of that there. You could do that. Hi, Mandy. So Mandy is burlap magnolia. Mandy just made well, she makes beautiful wreaths, but you just made that beautiful like velvet one with that plaid. I call it, what is it? You said it was like the Ralph Lauren inspired. It was gorgeous, Mandy. Absolutely gorgeous. And I was shopping and I came across some of those velvet ornaments that you used. And I was like, no, no, no. Like, walk away, Julie, walk away. And all I kept thinking, I'm like, that wreath was gorgeous. Mandy does a lot of craft shows, and she is down in Georgia. All right. Oh. All right, my friend. Okay. Oh, see, I just did that and it ruined it to you guys. Like, it really, it's going there. So thank you, Mandy. It is. It's all, like I said, it's all Melissa's product. And this ribbon is the deluxe ribbon, so it's the nice, like, sturdy wire ribbon for that. And the only other thing, you know, I could put another red berry up there. And again, I always start long because I can always cut if needed, but I know I want this one like up in here. All right. Okay. So I am going to cut this one right here. All right, there we go. And then, my friends, I think we're done. I think we're done. And I still have red berries left over. So if you know, on yours, as you're putting yours together, if you see a gap, like I said, I still have 2 more of these. I still have these, and I still had 2 little stems left over. And even though this is just a leaf right here, you could use that as well if you needed to. Actually, I might actually use. No, I'm gonna let it go. Nope, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna put it just kind of back in here behind these berries. Because you guys remember, I am a more is more girl. It's really funny if you hold in-person wreath workshops. It's really funny to see people, because some people are like, nope, I'm done. And then other people are like, oh, this is so pretty. I want to keep adding and keep adding. And they're your more is more. And then there's some that are your less is more. But this is it. I will cut these. One of the things that I'll cut these like a little bit here with you guys. However, what I do like to do when I do cut my ribbon tails is put it on my front door. And that is because on a front door, I'm really seeing how it's going to look on the front door and the length it's going to be on somebody's front door, where if it's like right here, I mean, obviously you get the idea, but you don't always kind of know. There's been times where I have, cut a ribbon tail too long where I think it's going to go, and then once it's on the door. And then there's times it's been too short and I've just taken another piece and I've made it longer and, you know, cut this short, whatever one was shorter, and just made a new tail for that. So there we go. This is the kit. If you want to order it, please don't forget to use Julie15. My friends, save yourself some money. Melissa has been very gracious in allowing everybody to have that discount who is here. And again, it doesn't matter if you get the kit or not. Like if you already have some of this stuff at home, let's say you have the red ribbon, but you need everything else. If it's in stock, you can order it. But I do know Melissa said some of the products, she pulled the last of it for the kits. So just be aware. So you might have to, if you don't order the kit, you do that. You can always order the kit and then you just have more product. I mean, that's it. And you know, it's beautiful product and it's good quality product. So you guys, oh my goodness, I have been on here a long time. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to take this long, but it has been a pleasure. So tomorrow night, we're going to be doing the swag, and the swag is, I'm bending down to pick it up. I wanted to keep in this kind of collection, I wanted to kind of keep it a red theme. So, and those of you who know me in person, you know that most of my home decor is not red. I do up towards the front of my house, like in the entryway, the foyer, I do have like more traditional colors up there. But back in my sunroom where my Christmas tree is and my living room, it's pretty much all neutral colors. So my friends, we're going to be using this swag base. So beautiful Norfolk pine. I absolutely love it. Look at that color dimension in there. So we have that. And then, you guys, this is a mixture of two different kinds of greenery. It's Norfolk pine. I'm not sure what the other one is. It's just a basic greenery. You guys, this feels amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's one of those that's like so soft, you just want to keep touching it. So, and as a teacher, this would make a perfect fidget. The feel of it, like just, it's perfect fidget. I mean, that's the teacher in me, right? We're going to use just one of these snow-covered, I think it's cedar. I know Melissa can correct me if I'm wrong. And then we're going to have two of these snow-covered roses to go along with. And then you can either use the ribbon that came today. If you wanted everything, if you want your swag to coordinate with this, you can use the ribbon that came today, the deluxe ribbon, or I picked out the fun, so I should actually say Melissa did, the original ribbon that we had, she didn't have enough to make kits for. So I said, oh, what about this ribbon? But if you don't think it goes, pick something else out. But I love this one. It's just playful. It's just, you know, it's the Santa fur. So this little trim, the little white fur on the red. And of course, we also have these gorgeous berries. Now these are different than the select artificial ones that we use today, but they still coordinate very well. These are just a little bit more of a darker cranberry. These are probably your true red, and these are just a little bit more of a darker cranberry, but it still coordinates with everything. And then on Wednesday, we're going to do the vase filler. And again, remember I wanted everything like to coordinate. So, and the other thing too is if you buy more than one kit, you know, honestly, the pieces can be intermixed with each other because they do all go with each other. So we have some, the long needle pine coordinates beautiful with this, the wreath kit that we did today. So like I said, if you do get more and you get extra, you can use it for more pieces, or you can put some in some of these other pieces as well. So these are different. So this one's longer, and then we have some other pieces. So this is going to be our main piece that we're going to be working on, and this is going to be for this, the base filler or the pitcher filler. It's going to be for that. And then, Sherry, we are using this again. This is the same cedar branch, just one again. You can see how we added it to this. It worked out really well. And then again, because I love the red berries so much, we went with these again. So these again, so the swag and the pitcher will definitely coordinate very well, or the vase filler, the pitcher will definitely coordinate very well. I did not put in a ribbon with the vase or the pitcher. I did not do that, but either ribbon, the glitter ribbon, this, or any that you have at home would work perfectly for it. But because it's just one pitcher, I'm like, people can use ribbon, and it's going to be a little bit smaller piece. So if you have a piece of ribbon that you absolutely love, but you don't have a whole lot of it, this would be perfect for one of those pieces. But you guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. again, and we're going to be making that swag, and I'm going to keep it shorter. But I knew tonight would take a little bit longer, and just because it was a wreath, and I really wanted to show you guys kind of my thought process behind everything. So I hope you learned something new by watching tonight, and I will see you tomorrow. I appreciate it, and don't forget, get your kit if you want your kit, because there might not be enough product left over after these kits to make some, because I know that Melissa was pulling some of those last pieces for these kits that she had in stock, and she, you know, it's almost Christmas time, like for us wreath makers, so she's not going to be reordering this season. But you guys have a fantastic evening, and I hope to see you all tomorrow night here. All right, have a great Tuesday, my friends, and I will see you tomorrow. Good night. Thank you, Renea. All right, thank you, Lena. All right, April, Dora, Juanita, thank you so much for watching tonight.